Hello babies, this is Marcelavito. Let's play Queen at Arms Deluxe Edition. Now I have never heard of this game. I did see it on Steam, so I decided to check it out. So let's start. Hello baby. Soldier, stand tall men. It's an honor to walk on the king's ground. Slouching boys and tired men snap right up at the order. Some of them respond out of respect, but others were afraid. The knots in my stomach jumped to my throat as I looked at the massive castle at the end of the long twisted road. I wanted to cry. Wah! That's how a man cries. Wah! Of course, I did. Of course I couldn't. It would be unseemly for the youngest son of the legendary knight, Sir Thomas Cordell, to be seen with tears in his eyes, even if he wasn't really a son. Okay. Halt! Show your respect for Assistant Commander Boren. Ahoy! Everyone stopped walking. The older men quickly formed a straight line, and the rest of us followed. A gruff-looking man approached from a cluster of tents and made his way down the line. One by one, he glared down his nose and asked each man to shout his name. I could feel the boy next to me quiver. He'd be collected from the town 2 days from mine. His father stood beside him, but there was nothing he could do right now to comfort him. It must have been painful for both of them, but I was still a little jealous of the boy next to me. I'd had to make this journey alone. My brother Nick had made the northward trek through the border 3 days ago, intending to join the Arthurian army so he could be educated in its capital. It was a common thing to do, and I'd made plans to make the journey myself when I came of age last year. But when father got sick, I couldn't bring myself to go. We sent many letters to Nick, but never received a reply. I'm not even sure if he was aware our father was dead. Then the king of Arthura announced that war was coming to start to round up more Salgardian? Close enough. Meant to supplement his forces. I had my chance to come to Arthura and tell my brother what happened, and to see him again, if he was even still there. Your name! As a man's dark, humorless eyes fell on me, my throat grew dry, just like it is now. It struck me then that if I made any sort of noise right now, my already valiant feminine voice would probably crack from the tears I was holding back. Vaguely feminine voice. Did he not strike puberty? We'll find out. Name, boy! I opened my mouth, but I couldn't bring myself to answer him. I hated the softness in my voice already. The last thing I wanted was to embarrass myself with making it sound prepubescent by squeaking, "Aww, aww, my character's adorable." Go on, boy! Name! One of the soldiers beside him drew his blade. With a gruff man cast a harsh look his way that stilled his hand. My heart beat madly inside my chest. "Are you stupid, boy?" I swiftly shook my head. "You got a tongue!" I nodded. Then use it! Oh, easy, buddy. Easy. Someone needs a cuddle. My mouth opened again, and I forced sound to come out for fear of my life. Enter false name. Marcus. Actually, can... Okay. Marcel. Nah, I'm gonna use 2 L's. Marcel Cordell! I thought Assistant Commander Boren would move on after that, but when he straightened up, he continued to stare at me. Oh, shnikey, I'm gonna get it. He was sizing me up and down, probably because I caused him so much trouble. Sweat dripped down my face, and I wondered if I could get away with letting a few tears fall as well. No, sweetie. I can't. You can't. Should I do something to show him I'm not a complete idiot, or should I try not to attract too much attention? Glare at him, or look away and keep my head down? What do you think? I don't know. I'm pretty tough for a girl who wears dresses and stilettos, so glare! Let's go. I summoned my courage and glared back at him. A real soldier wouldn't let himself be intimidated so easily. But what I thought was a sign of bravery, he took as a show of defiance. Whoops. An assistant commander cuffed me on the side of the head, knocking me to the ground. Whap! When I opened my eyes, I was on the ground, and my glasses were a few feet away. Oh, I'm wearing glasses too. Oh, cute. Let that be a lesson to all of you. I retrieved my glasses and stood. My face hot with shame, but thankfully, my glasses weren't broken. Yeah, that would be a pain in the butt. Boren had already moved to the next boy, and I really hoped I wouldn't have to deal with him too much. I think I'm going to have to deal with him a lot. Even when he finally moved on, I couldn't relax. I wanted to become invisible. After the last few recruits reported in, Boren moved to the center of the line. Men! You are now honored members of King Kendrick's army. As such, you will conduct yourself with respect and dignity. You will be assigned to men who have been here longer than you, and know better than you ever will. Wow, my mouth is dry, dear lord. Never drink pop when you're doing the gameplay. Never drink pop at all. Or anything else that has carbonation and salt and sugar and everything else. That's delicious. Don't do it. Do what I say, not as I do. You know that lecture from parents. You will follow the orders with efficiency and without question. You will march in single file to the clerics' tents to the east, where you will examine and assign to your lives for the next year. Or be examined. Dismissed! Ah! The experienced men turned to the east and started their march. The rest of us did our best to follow smoothly. Whoop! That's how soldiers march. Whoop! The soldiers behind me leaned in and rasped something in my ear. Oh. Dear lord. The soldier behind me leaned in and rasped something in my ear. Probably said, "Hey, Master Arms." Oh, hello, baby. That was pretty brave of you. I'm sure Bowen only hit you because of how much you impressed him. I think that's how he shows respect. Maybe. I don't know. I met some really... I know a few characters. Well, at least I impressed someone. But that didn't do much for my nerves. My heart had nearly its way through my rib cage. How thorough this was examination going to be? Would they find out that I was a Gaul? Oh. I'm a Gaul? Yep, I'm a Gaul. Would that be such a bad thing? Wait a second, that's Soldier. Soldier 5 was a Gaul. I paid close attention at her face. Her face. I paid strict attention to her face. That was a woman. Father had always said that if anyone discovered the truth, everyone I cared about would be in serious danger. But I didn't even know why. Sexism! One of the dumbest things ever created. But I needed to trust him. He may not have been my real father, but he had always made sure I was safe and loved. Aww. I had to keep my secret, if only to help honor him and his wishes. Wait a minute, does that mean I have to stuff a sock down my pants too? Cause, oh, that'd be funny. Hey, wait a minute, you look like a girl too. Ah, never mind. Don't loiter around, man. That was it? Okay. I would have done what the soldier said, but the cleric's tent was filled with sharp odor that burned my nose. Ew. It was a deep smell. A smelly smell. A smelly smell that smelled smelly. Plaguing even. Almost like apples, if a bunch of them had been left in the sun too long with half-eaten fish. Ew. I wasn't the only one to notice either. A lot of boys scrunched their noses up as we marched inside. At the front, a man dressed in robes divided us into groups and directed us to different partitions of the tent. Each one was separated from the rest by a simple curtain. Okay. I thought I might have some privacy, but there were more than one bed in each curtain area, and 2 other soldiers were made to sit in there with me. We waited together in silence. The 3 of us sat in terror for what felt like hours. Suddenly the curtain slid open. We snapped to attention. Hut! I don't know why I'm saying hut. Oh my god, this is mixed. Oh, wow. Why? Hello, Grell. Well, I found Grell. I finally figured out what he did before he did Black Butler. The relief I felt when I saw my brother was evenly matched with the surprise that I flickered on my brother's face when he saw me. What I bumped up. Guys, I am so sorry. My mind is not walking today whatsoever. Too much chlorine in the swimming pool. I swear. I wanted to jump off my bed that second, give him a hug, but I didn't. There was no point in embarrassing the both of us. His attention was squarely on the other 2 boys in the room anyway.
Okay.
Who the frick just talked? Did you hear that? Oh man, someone put... Nope. Not even gonna finish that sentence. Okay. Take off your shorts. While Nick tended to the other soldiers, all I could do was notice how different he was from before. He was taller. His hair was longer. He had a long, thin scar just under his ear. And he was standing differently. Open your mouth! Okay. Do I even dare? Nope. Nope. Not even gonna comment. His voice was deeper. but its tones was too cold. The only thing that had changed about me in 3 years was the size of my chest, which I struggled to bind. I really couldn't be here. After Nick attended to the other soldiers, he had them dressed and sent out. Then his focus turned to me. He closed the curtain tightly.
Huh?
That is you! Grill, shut up. I'm doing your voice. The commander said we wouldn't be getting any more Guardians. His voice was rife with worry. Maybe he hadn't changed as much as I thought. I gave him a bright smile, which used to put him at ease. It didn't today. What are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. My smile dropped. You've been causing trouble already, haven't you? That's a nasty bruise. He held a cool, wet towel to my face and signed. Sign? That should reduce the swelling. I saw they grabbed older men too. Is father with you? I felt my stomach turn. I shook my head. Nope. I guess he didn't get any of my letters. That didn't surprise me. Silgard was allied with Orthera, but over the past few years, it'd been almost impossible to get through the border. Everyone knew that Queen Charlotte was suspicious of Mad King Kendrick, and for good reason. Since he claimed the throne, he thoroughly earned that nickname. If not for the prospect of an upcoming overseas war, she probably wouldn't have let him bolster his army with any more of her men. Father took ill last year. He's passed.
Uh-huh.
I see. My throat tightened. It was as if he didn't care at all. They're probably going to assign you as a aide to Commander Reese. That's where they put me when I first got here. Our father's name still carries some clout, but don't sling it around too much. It's sort of a mixed bag. Really? Am I a bag of nuts? Try not to get hurt. If any cleric besides me has to look at you, he'll know right away that you aren't. He stopped and his eyes wandered down to my frame. Maybe I changed more than I thought I had.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I didn't come home. I gave him that bright smile again, and it seemed to work this time. Cleric Nicholas? Sorry, Marcel. I have to go. You can't let your guard down for a second, okay? Alright. He pulled the curtain open, but paused just outside the door, his hand still gripping the fabric. He seemed to need a moment to compose himself. Perhaps he did care after all. Well, I imagine if you're a soldier, you have to put on a pretty strong frame. Or, I mean, appearance for others. By the time I emerged from the tent, I couldn't pick him out from the dense collection of soldiers and clerics. For the first time since I'd been taken from our village, I didn't have someone telling me what to do. I wanted to save you from freedom while I still had the chance. As I wandered the camp, I watched the other men. While some of them were sparring, others were busy with chores. Most of them were Arthurian, but it was pretty easy to spot the Guardians. Why can I not say that flippin' word? Okay, among them. Sorry guys, if I sound really slow when I'm reading out loud, it's because I'm not really used to reading out loud. More than anything, I speed read like a demon As long as I do it quietly to myself, I can clear a whole novel in a couple days. But reading out loud to myself or anyone is something I've done over maybe a dozen times in my entire life. So I gotta get my reading skills up to over 9,000. I'm trying to. For you guys, I'm trying to. They clustered together in small groups, and there was an unmistakable hate behind their smiles whenever an Orthoran came by. I couldn't imagine why, though it was true that there was a general distrust in Silgard of Orthra's royalty. The normal Orthoran citizens had never caused us much trouble. Perhaps the situation was different from the Silgardians. Ah, I said it! Ha! Awesome reading skills. Woo! Who actually lived there. I hope that wasn't it. Okay, whatever. The second thing I noticed was that the other soldiers were mainly men, despite what I had heard. Looking carefully, I saw what appeared to be a female soldier here or there. But there was blah. But there truly were few of them. Ha! I told you! Number 5 was a woman. Because I looked at her face. And nothing else. You dirty boys. Maybe there was some stock to the rumors that women who joined the Mad King's army were not truly welcome. They said that harassment from the men usually drove them away. I wonder why. Even worse, there was no guarantee that the king would protect them, because his son, the prince, was often one of the worst instigators. Oh, okay. So the king's son is some sleazy... There was a lot of things going through my head about what I can call the king's son, but none of them is appropriate for my channel. The woman who stayed in the army must have been incredibly bold, much more than I could ever be. Without anything better to do, I continued wandering the camp, wondering if there was something I should be doing or someone I should talk to. In one of the groups of soldiers, there was a youth Orthoran receiving a lecture from an older man. Something about Pansarvery. Don't know if I said that right, but okay. They must have been discussing the war. I didn't really want to spy on them, but I was curious what the man had to say. Should I listen in on the conversation? What do you guys think? Eavesdrop on the pair of soldiers? Mind my own business, or keep wandering? I have a feeling this is multiple endings. Well, not exactly. It's probably going to be the same exact ending, but multiple different things just going to lead us to the same path. So, yeah, why not? Eavesdrop! Because nothing can go wrong with that. What are you, Blondie Draft? Quince is part of the Pansarvoy. It's not just drifting off in the ocean. Wait a second, why do you two look familiar? What anime have I seen you guys in that I can ridicule you about? Can't remember, my mind's drawing a blank. Oh wait, Silverhair chick thing. It reminded me of the Angel in Black Butler Season 1. Oi. Anyway. But isn't Pansarvoy a kingdom? Like Orthra? No, thickhead, it's a whole rock. Like Lanra. Orthra and Slygard are part of Lanra. Quince and Talmora are part of Pansarvoy. But oh Pete, how can we get attacked by rock? Only kingdoms wage war. Alliances. Did they teach you anything in your lessons? They taught him how to color. Actually, I never had lessons before I came here. Was too busy raising pigs. Okay. Pho, even a pig farmer needs to know about the place he lives in. Actually, that's a little bit insulting. I'm related to a couple of farmers, and you know what, they're really intelligent. A man grabbed a stick from a pile of nearby kindling and started drawing in the dirt. A, B, C. That's what he was drawing. See? We're over here. He drew a large circle with a cross through it. Okay. This is us, Orthra, and that's Slyguard. Slyguard wins the House Cup! Check out Dark Lord Funk to understand that joke. Please check it out. It is the most hilarious music video I've ever seen in my life. Trust me on it. And this one over here, he took a few pieces and drew a squarish shape with other divine lines in it. Is Pansorvoy. This one on top is Quince, and this one over here is Talmara. If they aren't all the way over here, how are they supposed to attack us? The Rendor can't swim all the way here. Boy, were you dropped on your head as a baby? They have boats. That's how we trade with them. A bit of a water is not gonna stop them. Besides, they don't have reindeer. Oh, so, okay. I really want to give the blonde a southern accent. I'm not going to. I just want to. Wait, then what do they ride on? Horses. Horses? Like reindeer, but no antlers. I can't even imagine that. I stared at the man's diagram. It wasn't correct at all. That's because he was drawing ABCs. One of the things my father had drilled into me was the politics and geography of Lenra. Awesome reading skills. What? And our nearby neighbors. He said it was crucial knowledge for any upcoming young man. I am so manly, with my long flowing locks and beautiful breastises. So manly. If that was true, it would be better for the younger man to learn it correctly. Though, I didn't want to seem rude. Should I correct the older man's geography? Yes. My honest opinion is, even if I seem rude, I'd rather be honest with people and correct them on information that's crucial, because having the correct information and not having correct information is typically the fine line between life and death. So, and that's very true for a lot of situation. The younger man looked over at me, but the older man was still drawing on his diagram. Pardon me. Pardon me. Finally he looked up. Yeah, what you want, boy? That... I cleared my throat and straightened out my shoulders. Actually, I need to straighten out my shoulders. Ah, my back just cracked. That was nice. That map isn't correct. Huh? Here, can I? I held my hand out. Reluctantly, he handed over the stick, took a few steps over, and started a new drawing. So, we're over here in the north, in Lanera. Orthora's in the north, and Silgard in the south. Montras used to be in the east, but I guess now it's part of Orthora. And over here, down south, this is Pansori. It has Talmora, which is the nearest one to us, and Quince, which is the little one in the south. The big one in the middle is Reme. So what's the little one over there? That's Altroy, but they don't really talk to the others. Oh. The older man snatched the stick back and started eyeing me up. Where'd you learn all this, boy? My father, sir. Ha! I'm not your soul. Anyway, where was your uniform? Uniform? Was I supposed to have one of those? Whoopsie! You can't be wandering around here out of dress. Someone might think you're a spy or something. I was pretty sure a spy would have a uniform on before they let themselves be seen. But I wasn't going to question the man's logic. No. There's a time to question and there's a time to let it go. Get over to the medics and get dressed. I nodded and made a hasty exit before anyone else could yell at me. You! Oh god, it's you! Just inside the tent, I saw Assistant Commander Boren. He looked annoyed, as always. He's a big old kettlebell. Where have you been, boy? Where is your uniform? You're going to be walking for me from here on, and I expect you to be punctual and in uniform. Understand? Sure. Good. Now go get in your uniform, boy. He pointed and I nodded again. Behind me stood a table laden with uniforms. I took the smallest one I could find and rushed behind the curtain to change. However, the uniform was a little too big for my slender build. It was almost uncomfortably baggy. I had to roll up my pant legs and my sleeves just to get it around safely. The assistant commander was waiting for me just beyond the curtain. I hope I hadn't taken too long. Looks like we'll need to have that uniform adjusted. Fix that hair and follow me. I have to bring you to the commander. I hesitated for what I sure was only a moment, but apparently it was a moment too long. Snap to it, boy! We don't have all day. Please don't shiv me while I'm asleep. I nodded and did my best to tame my hair as I followed the strange man out. The commando tent, as large as it was easily spotted amongst the others. It was also inordinately fancy. Wait here, boy. The man walked into the tent without me, and I waited for him patiently. Hopefully, if I was compliant from now on, he wouldn't think of me as a troublemaker. I would guess again on that one, sweetie. The man didn't step out, but he did stick out his arm. He waved me in. So, Thomas, you're looking awfully exuberant these days. He put his mouth to such a wide smile that it looked like it was cracking his face. That's his son, Commander. I thought he was helping the medics this week. His other son, sir. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Mixed the voices. Oh, I see. Why? You are an spittish image of your father. I had to question the validity of that compliment, seeing as Sir Thomas was not my father by blood. Your father and I used to be such good friends. Where is he? Honesty, as painful as it is, honesty is best. My father is dead, Saul. I could barely choke the words out. The commando smell dropped. Oh, that's terribly unfortunate. But it wasn't gone for long. No matter, we're sure to win the war with both of his sons here. He's a happy guy, isn't he? Yes, Saul! Bowen was just humoring the commando now. It was strange. Breeze was a very striking man, and he had a lot of power in his voice, but his eyes looked very lost. Perhaps it was my only imagination. I doubt he would have kept his position if he was unfit for command. Well, that's typically how it is. Bowen, be a deal and fetch us something to drink, would you? I believe that's Cordell's job, Saul. Yes! Hey Cordell, go to the castle's kitchen and have a nice lady that'll give you a bottle of something good. Aide. That must be my new title. Cordell doesn't have the authority to enter the castle, Saul. I'm not even reading. I am so sorry, guys. Then you'll need to go with him, Bowen. Commando continues to smile with Bowen did his best to hide his annoyance. Aw, he does need a cuddle. Come here, Bowen. Bring it in. All the snuggles. I will give you all the snuggles. Okay. Ah, flipple flap. I hit that a couple times. He saluted. Hi! And exited the tent. He did the same and followed him. I did the same and followed. Hi hi hi! Okay, the assistant commander muttered to himself some before turning his attention to me. You better follow closely. The locals don't like it when soldiers step into a castle grounds. I know. So. Well, at least I know you'll keep your mouth shut. His wide stride made quick walk for training grounds. I practically had to run to keep up. My nerves really kicked up when I entered the castle. I had to move quickly to keep up with the assistant commander, but there was a part of me that was very sure I'd be suddenly stopped. I am going to get shivved. I'm just going to get shanked by this guy. I know it. It was silly. I haven't even been in these walls since I was little, but for some reason, I imagined that someone might recognize me. Some part of me hoped that if I imagined hard enough, it might come true. No, I'm RPG version of Mulan. No one's gonna recognize me. Besides, somehow I'm the brother I'm related to in this game. The assistant commander came in to interrupt Holt, and I almost bumped into him. I'm not gonna say I just crashed into him. Plowed him over like a semi-truck. We twisted our way through the castle's hall, and now we were at our destination. I could see serving women busting about inside the kitchen, and one even brushed past us to hurry elsewhere. Somewhere else. Wait here, don't wander off. I can't, you're stuck to my computer screen. I nodded and the assistant commander went into the kitchen. I watched as he put on a charming smile before speaking with a large woman in a pinafore. Oh! Oh! He loves someone! Oh, that's cute. See, he is a big old teddy bear who's probably gonna shank me the second I turn around. Unfortunately, that smile doesn't last. What do you mean you don't have it? You promised me that you would hold it for the commander. The assistant commander was speaking in what he probably thought was a hushed tone, but his natural prim gave him away. It was much too easy for me to make out his words, even with all the clamor in the kitchen. Perhaps you should have delivered on your promise, Big Bear. Big Bear? Oh, he's a cuddly Big Bear! He's not just a snuggle bear, he's a snuggly big bear. Oh, he's gonna get all the snuggles before I get shanked. The cook was not making any attempts at being quiet. My attention shifted from bickering pair to a soft laugh close by. I glanced in the direction of the noise. My brow lifted at the sight of a strange masked man sitting at the corner, perched upon the stool. We have ninjas in this game? Alright, so this game is a mixture of Naruto, Black Butler, and Game of Thrones. That's what this game is. Okay. Actually, before I continue, I'm gonna save this game right here, and I'm gonna call it a night because it is late. Although, Chapter 1. I'm only in Chapter 1. Why? Okay. Did that walk? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. But anyway, that's it for this episode. If you liked it so far, let me know and I'll try my best to complete it, best of my ability. Well, at least the demo part anyway. But as I said, if you like this video, check me out in future episodes. Like and subscribe, and until next time.